Hi everyone, it's Lou Collins on CraftStash, and today we're going to make a really fun kinetic card. Now we're going to be mixing two of the fabulous brands from CraftStash. That's a brand new licensed feature called Peanuts. You've probably heard of Peanuts, you've seen the comic strip in the newspapers years ago. All the lovable characters are in here. I'm going to run through these new items in a moment, but we're going to be mixing that with a made to surprise double slider card set. So this is going to make a fantastic card with pull-out elements that we can put our characters on, extra sentiments and such that we want to. So follow along with this tutorial. You can find everything linked down below at CraftStash, and I will also add a link at the end for you. So within the licensed product, we have got, obviously we've got Snoopy in there, we have got Charlie Brown, we've got Lucy and all the other characters you could possibly want, lots of sentiments. Now, as you can see here, we've got ephemera. This is absolutely jam-packed with die-cut pieces for you. Some colour, some just plain black and white. So I will be delving into those once we come to decorating our card. We've got a stamp and die set as well. I think this is great because when it comes to Peanuts, you can really get away with just doing a monochrome look and just stamping in black and cutting out. So everything has the outline dies for it, and we've got all the characters there, all the main characters there as well. Then we've got some fabulous washi sheets. So there's different designs in here. Let's just take a quick look through these. So you can see we've got strips there as well. Again, our sentiments, our characters. I just think these are great because these are going to go onto any fabric. Because they're already adhesive, you're going to stick them onto anything you want to. We've got, of course, all the phrases there to add lots of movement to your card, which is going to be great considering it is a kinetic card. Love that. Okay, and what I do love as well, and I can clearly show you on this pack, is the backing paper in the pack, the packaging. This is going to be absolutely brilliant to actually use as a backing paper on your projects as well. Maybe you do journaling, for example. Maybe you just want to use that as a card base rather than a pattern paper. It's entirely up to you, but I would definitely be using that too. And then we've got our paper pack. So this is 8 by 8. There's 32 different pages in here. We've got a mixture of pattern paper. It's all single-sided, so you haven't got to worry about which side do you use. But we've got 12 different designs. So you've got your 6 pattern paper, and then you've got you've got 8 pattern paper. You've got 4 topper sheets. The topper sheets have got, again, so much in them and beautiful colours that all coordinate really well together. So look at all this. I won't go through everything in detail. You can see it all on the website. Again, linked all down below. If you're a CraftStash VIP, of course you're going to be saving 10% on any of these items. So let's get putting this card together. Now, I have already pre-cut most of what I need for the moment. I've not done any of the decorating. So I've got the mechanism parts and I've got the mats and layers. The mats and layers are from the paper pack. I've chosen to go with this lovely pink and purple with the black and white Snoopy in the background. That's just going to be the mats on what I call the wings, so the side pieces that are going to come out. If you've not seen a double slider from Made a Surprise before, you're going to absolutely love this kinetic card shape. Now I'm putting together the square one. I will rush through this a little bit, but if you want a more detailed description on how to construct a double slider, you can check out our video just here. That's actually for the circle slider, but the mechanism is extremely similar. Now I've also got my mechanism. You'll see a little bit of this, but only the very edge. So I've gone with the yellow here. I've then gone with a yellow backing paper for the front and a black again for my card bases. Now I've chosen black because I thought that would work really well with that drawn outline that you get with the Peanuts collection. So I've chosen to go with black strips here so that you can easily see how I'm putting the mechanism together. So I've got 2 of these yellow squares that have the slots in. This is part of the mechanism, and then 2 of the black long strips from the Made to Surprise set. What I'm going to do is just weave this strip in and out of the cut lines there, and then just fold it over on itself so that it joins. I don't think it matters whereabouts the join is, but as long as it's not too tight on the kind of the guides there, and I'll just show you what I mean by that. If I fold this one over, like I say, there are really in-depth detailed tutorials online on the CraftStash channel. You'll find that, as I linked it earlier, in the video. So there you should find your strip has space to move up and down those guides. So we can now pop a little bit of glue on this one or this one, either way, and glue them together. Just making sure that I'm not getting any glue anywhere where it shouldn't be. And it's really important that the glue just stays on the strips and nowhere else. And if you want to use tape, that would be ideal as well. I like to use the CraftStash glue, so I've got the Creative Craft Products bookbinding glue here. But if you've got the essential glue, that will work just as well. So there we go, that is glued. Now I'm going to do that twice. Now with each one, if you turn your strip, your block over, you'll see that you've got just the two small bits here. We're not working with those, we're actually going to be working with the long strips. So that's the one that you've glued. And going to take one of the tabs, these are the larger of the tab shapes, and place it. You'll notice it will actually fit perfectly over the top there. So push your strip all the way to the end. Put a line of glue. Again, tape would be okay if you're worried about putting too much glue on or getting it anywhere else. Because it's a mechanism, you need to be really careful about where you put your glue. And then place your tab, and this is, like I say, the largest one of the three in the die set. Along there you've got your guidelines, so you know everything's nice and straight. And again, do this on the second panel too. Now at this stage I'm going to bring in some of my pattern paper that I've cut and decorate now rather than trying to decorate later. As I mentioned at the beginning, I've got these really fun pink and purple mats and layers. There's lots of other mats and layers you can use as well if you really want to build these up, but I want to keep this quite simple, which kind of reflects the design of the Snoopy, Charlie Brown, the whole Peanuts range, because they were quite simple line drawings. The artwork wasn't too detailed, there was never too much colour involved. So like I say, I want to kind of echo that. So I'm just matting and layering the smallest of the panel onto each of my, we'll call these the wings still. And you should then be able to slide each of your tabs out like so. Now we need to work these into the base. So I have got here two of the largest squares. That's going to be the front and the back of my card. I've got one mat and layer here. This can go on in a moment. I'll just put that to the side for now, because to build up the mechanism, what we need to do is use a little bit of foam tape. We're going to place one on like so. Then this one, or it doesn't matter which way round these are, will go directly over the top, so we'll need foam between these, and then this will go over the top here, so you'll have your tabs here to pull out. So taking away these layers, what we're going to need to do first of all, this can go directly onto your card base, or you can put foam on this first layer. Just to keep the bulk down, I'm going to glue this one first. So all you want to do is glue around the edge, the middle, but you don't want to glue anywhere along these two strips. There we go. So placing that down and making sure that your strips are still free to pull your wings in and out. Just keep doing this a little bit while the glue dries. There's one. Then what we're going to do is, still working on here, is we're going to take some foam tape. In fact, to make life even easier, I've actually got a sheet of foam. This comes from CraftStash. This is the adhesive foam in black. I can cut these quite thin now and then just trim them to the width that I need. So I'll need 3 for one layer and 3 for the second layer. I've chosen to go with the black foam just so that I know it's all going to be hidden within the mechanism and it's not going to be showing too much. So again, just always checking that your mechanism is going to work fine. Now what we're going to do is layer the next piece on top, so directly over the top there. Again, just always checking that everything's working as it should be. And then I'm going to place 3 strips of foam around these 3 edges and put my mat over the top. So again, just lining this up with the backing sheet there, the back of the card, making sure that everything's perfectly square. And the last test, everything slides out, absolutely brilliant. Okay, so now we can mat this yellow layer on top, as I mentioned before. And now it's time to decorate. I'm thinking about having Snoopy on his house in the middle here, and then having Charlie Brown and Lucy on either side, maybe with some quote bubbles as they pull out. Now I'm going to bring the ephemera in last, just to add some additional flowers, hearts, little bits like that, I think. I think to bring the purple into the centre here as well, I'm going to use one of the topper sheets. So I think that's going to be maybe this square one here, because we've got the purple in there. I'm going to cut this out, map this onto the front, and then what I'm going to do is stamp this here. So it's this image. I'm going to stamp it in white and black. I might colour that in red, but I think actually I might stick with the white and black today. Make my card a lot quicker and still keep that cartoon strip theme. And that can go directly over the wording there, the sentiment, and Snoopy there. So really we'll just be using the mat as a background. I'm going to put a little bit of black ink around the edge of this one. I could cut myself a mat, but this is much quicker and also saves on the weight of the card, the bulk, if you did want to post it. So this is just going to help add a bit of a drop shadow and a frame, and it means that I can just glue this down flat to the card without worrying about it not standing out. Okay, so let's get stamping now. So as I say, I'm going to use Snoopy on the kennel on the house there. I've got Charlie Brown and I've got Lucy. So just popping them into my Creative Craft Products stamping platform. This is a brilliant stamping platform. We've actually done a comparison video recently where you can see how this fares against another very popular stamping platform, and that was the Tim Holtz one. You can see that video just here. Now, because these are new stamps, I'm going to prep them, and that means I'm just going to take a pencil eraser and just rub over the top of them just to ensure that they grip all the ink. It's really important, I think, with these stamps that you get a really perfectly clear black impression, because otherwise it's just not going to give the look that we want for the comic strip. And the reason I've used my stamping platform is because there's a good chance I'm going to want to re-stamp these a couple of times, so I need to make sure they're in exactly the correct position. That's actually a really good image. I don't think I need to redo that, which is really a nice surprise. So we've got outline dies for each of these stamps, and what I love is that they're really close outline dies. That means you don't get a really, really large kind of area around them, which makes them look more precise. So I'm just lining this up really carefully. I've got my Creative Craft Products low tack tape. I'm going to just pop that onto each of the dies to hold it still while it goes through my die cutting machine. So as you can see, my Snoopy house there is going to fit perfectly. It's going to cover up the image that's already here, and then I've got a really nice background for that. I'm going to use my foam tape again to put this on. I can cut it to the perfect size. There we go. Now, my Lucy and Charlie Brown are going to go on the inside here, but they are going to have to go flat onto the panels because of the mechanism. I don't want them catching inside. Now, because I've actually got design in the background, I'm going to cut myself a yellow circle from this paper to sit behind them, just to make them stand out a little bit from the black and white Snoopies that are in the background. As you can see here, it kind of distorts the images a little bit where they overlap. So yeah, I'm going to do that just to help give that layer between. Okay, now I'm going to delve into the ephemera pack and see what else we can add to really bring this to life. Now there's so much in here. You've also got an awful lot of ephemera and toppers that you can cut out from the paper pack, so there's always going to be something to add to your project. So what I'm going to pull out here is any additional pieces like the flowers here, for example, little embellishments like that. I'm going to pull out the quotes as well and decide which ones to use because I think they'd be nice on the pull out tabs. So I think this one's going to be one of affirmations for the days in the year, weeks, months ahead, whatever it may be. So I'm actually going to use, I have the feeling that this is going to be a good year, and you should start each day with a song in your heart, a gleam in your eye, and peace in your soul. This would be great if someone's moving on or going to a new job, a new home, whatever it may be. So yeah, so I think these are going to be just really cute to have just in here. Now I need to work out, oh no, that's the wrong one. Let's pop this in here. Maybe that I actually need to move my characters there. I've glued them on, but I'm just wondering if I can lift them slightly. Yeah, just lift them and do a little bit of adjusting there like so. So lastly, I'm going to go through the topper sheets and find the perfect sentiment for the front of my card. Now I really like this, travel makes a person grow. I think this is the perfect sentiment if someone is going travelling. So I'm going to actually snip this out and just have it so that I've got a curved top, a curved bottom, and put them over and under here. So there's my finished card. I've got space on the back to put a white panel and of course write my sentiment. And then the wings as such pull out like this. I have a feeling that this is going to be a good year. You should start each day with a song in your heart, a gleam in your eye, and peace in your soul. And travel makes a person grow. How cool is that? If you enjoy this tutorial, don't forget, of course, to subscribe to the CraftStash YouTube channel just here. Everything that I've used, including the die set and the peanuts elements, are all available in this link at CraftStash just here. And we think you're going to really love this video here too.